So it is a 55-year female patient, and she is postmenopausal and presented with postmenopausal bleeding, and the endometrium is thickened. Now we have this section from the endometrium where we can see this endometrium is nodular, and we get a section from the tumor tissue. Definitely there is a tumor. We can see some epithelial proliferation in mostly they are in papillary and glandular pattern. This tumor have some stromal element which is giving some pale bluish area, and at lower magnification we can see this tumor have some stromal element also, which is catching our eye at a lower magnification. Now we need to go on the higher magnification to inspect all these other areas. Okay, so there are various pattern. We can see some papillary pattern, there is some leaf like pattern, there is some solid areas, and there is some myxoid areas over here, and the pale myxoid areas are seen in different part of the nodules. Now in that there is definitely two biphasic elements. So there is a epithelial element which have some similarity with that of the endometrioid carcinoma, and uh, in this tumor we should be grading it as FICO grade 1 type of morphology, and morphology is quite benign, like quite banal type of, and there is no high grade area particularly in this zone. Now if we move around, the next thing that catches up our eyes is actually this stromal proliferation. Now we need to look at the stroma over in a meticulous way, that the stroma is bit myxoid. Some way say you can be bit highly acid rich, and there are some mitotic activities going on in the stromal element also, but it is not that that is seen in carcinosarcoma things. Okay, now in this area also we can see this kind of chordate or very nodular appear the tumor cell, and they are definitely not in a very good glandular pattern, but some epithelioid appearance is here we can appreciate, obviously, with the background stroma is bit myxoid, some cartilaginous look over here, but definite rhabdoid, or you can say there is no chondroid differentiation of the tumor cells. Okay, but one thing that is very striking, there is no outright pleomorphism that is happening over here. Now if we move in other areas also, that was catching in our eyes in the lower magnification is the very chordate appearance of these tumor cells. Okay, now this appearance along with the myxoid element very characteristic for this tumor, and this tumor it is a chordate and hyalinized variant of endometrial carcinoma. So what is peculiar about it? So these have a very close mimicker, that is a close morphological differential should come up in your mind is carcinosarcoma. So carcinosarcoma, how to differentiate between this variant of endometrial carcinoma and carcinosarcoma? Obviously the age group is bit on the lower side, that is your around the 50s for your endometrioid carcinoma of chordate and hyalinized variant, whereas for carcinosarcoma it is on the higher age group like 70 60s or 70s. Okay, so that is a typical case, and this tumor they present in a lower tumor stage rather than the high tumor stage in that of the carcinosarcoma, which is generally present either with metastasis or at stage 3 or stage 4. So this tumor have a low stage presentation, they have a epithelial element, they hardly have some high grade areas, and remember that high grade areas can be seen in on the higher age group patient, mostly near 55 or 60s patient. Okay, and you need to say that morphologically they have a typical areas of glandular and chordate element, and at few areas you can have the squamoid or even epithelioid appearance also, like you can say that this area they have some epithelioid and squamoid element in this field. Okay, so these are quite histopathologically they are suggestive of this variant of epithelioid sorry, this is chordate or hyalinized variant of endometrial carcinoma. Now immunohistochemically they have a typical few features, like they have a nuclear beta catenin expression, they have either partial or total loss of CK, which is a very good marker to differentiate it from the carcinosarcoma group. And remember that nuclear beta catenin can be positive in a few cases of carcinosarcoma, around 30 to 40%. So that is not a very reliable marker, but obviously CK is going to go give you a good differentiating help point. Another important marker is E catenin. In almost all the cases of chordate and hyalinized variant of endometrial carcinoma, they have a E catenin loss. So that is a very good marker to look at. Okay, so in a molecular thing, you need to say that this tumor have a CTNNB1 mutation in almost 60 to 90% of the cases, and they have some subtype that have a no specific molecular profile, NS MP. Usually this group NSMP, they carries a bit poorer prognosis considering the beta catenin or wild type pole or wild type p53 group. Okay, so that is how you can say, and this tumor have a good prognosis compared to the carcinosarcoma group. And this is important because if you don't know about this entity, you can straight away jump to diagnose this case as a carcinosarcoma and make a mistake, and that is have a prognostic and therapeutic connotation associated with it. Okay, thank you for watching.